This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your home for instant reaction to every single Rays game. My name is Jonathan Shields. If you do not know me, if you are new, I'm a lifelong Rays fan. I was born and raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. I've been to more than 200 Rays games, and I'm going to be here for every single game for the rest of the season. And even if you guys are joining us, it is now 1:08 in the morning on the East Coast, and we are coming to you, thankfully, with a Rays victory. Just everyone let out the sigh of relief. That was one of the more stressful regular season games I remember watching in a very long time. But your beloved Rays come out on top 7-6 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Whether you guys are watching the replay, whether you guys are watching live, make sure you leave a comment, you like, subscribe, wherever you may be listening. I'm going to be here, like I said, after every single Rays game for the rest of the season. Especially if you're watching live, leave a comment. We'll get to your comments at the end of the stream, and you'll be able to get shown on the stream. So without further ado, let's get to what we'll be talking about from this game.
This is what you'll be talking about.
We're going to be talking about the offense finally breaking through. We're going to be talking about how Taj Bradley really battled in this game and kept the Rays in it for a long time. We're going to talk about the bullpen past Montgomery, the back end of the bullpen just being massive in this Rays win. And then wasn't this just the most Rays win ever? And we're going to get into all of that. And let's get right into it. So first, the Rays go down quietly in the top half of the first. And then first batter, and this happens way too often with the Rays. It happened with Grisham in the Yankee series, and it happens again with Carroll. Carroll, by the way, who is a stud. He had 2 home runs in this game. Boom, leadoff home run. And right then and there, you're like, man, it is just brutal. Here we go again. That's what you're thinking. The Rays are going to lose another game. That's what I was thinking. I'm such a pessimistic Rays fan. And then the thing that Christopher Morel is not going to be the player of the game, but man, was he awesome tonight. And to see him break out of it, and I said, he's in this slump right now. If he can get back to where he was the first 8 games of the season, not striking out, getting the barrel of the ball, how about that home run in the second inning? That's a big boy home run. That Chase Field in Arizona, that is a big ballpark. It's hard to hit it out of there. And then his double was hit further than his home run. 113 off the bat for that double. Fantastic to see him get going and him get the Rays on the board. And then all of a sudden, Thomas scores for the Diamondbacks. But in that inning where the Diamondbacks kind of tied in and took the lead, you could see Taj Bradley kind of battling and settling in. And his stat line was really similar to Zach Littell's yesterday. But I just thought Bradley looked better, if that made sense. I had more confidence that Taj was going to go out there and battle and make big pitches when it mattered most, which he did. And we're going to get to him a little bit later. Let's keep talking about the offense. And then in the 5th inning, what did the Rays struggle with all year? Runners in scoring position. And what does Yandy do? Comes up in the 6th inning, and after a Cam Miser bunt single, which was fantastic by him, he was awesome. We're going to get to him a little later. And you see Cabby, and Cabby had a really rough game. And they gave him 4 high fastballs, and he swung over them and there's a borderline pitch that kind of screwed him there, but he swung over them every single time. And I'm sitting there, oh, here we go again. And Yandy completely pulls through, big time single, puts the Rays in front. And then all of a sudden, boom, it bottom of the inning. And in that spot in the bottom of the 7th, I'm like, why aren't we going to Uceta here? And I really thought, I know he's the 8th inning guy, and that was kind of an oversight by me in the moment. You bring in Montgomery, and I really like Montgomery, and left on left to Carroll, that is the matchup. That is the matchup Kevin Cash wanted. That's the matchup the Rays wanted. Carroll just happens to be one of the 5 best hitters in baseball right now. That might be a little high, but he was fantastic. And so he gets the best of Montgomery right there. And then all I thought right there is like, man, we just cannot have nice things as Rays fans. And it's just like, here we go. Like, we're going to lose again. And after he hit the home run, I was like, I just can't believe it. And then let's get to the 8th inning. And it starts with that Morel double. And then I saw, just like I'm sure all you guys saw, Taylor Walls go up to pinch hit. And I was like, this is unbelievable that he is going to go pinch hit. And I don't even care. I knew right when he pinch hit that he was just going to go to bunt. Didn't matter. I wanted to see him know part of the play. And of course, then he gets the 2 strikes. And then, of course, like only the Rays would, he gets just a cue shot base hit. And you're like, oh, geez, like, okay, we'll take it. If he's going to be up there, he made Kevin Cash look like a genius. And then, man, how good has Chandler Simpson been? And the defense has started to adjust to him. I don't know if you guys noticed in this game, the outfield for Arizona was playing way in on him every single time. That's the first time, at least, that I've seen that so far this year. They were playing way in on him. And what does he do? Doesn't matter. Just such a gritty hit. Follows the ball, reaches out, slaps it out there. Rays tie the game. And then how many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen bases loaded with no outs and the Rays don't score? I'm going to tell you, it's too many times. And it happened again. Bases loaded, no outs. Just ridiculous that you don't get a run there. And again, Cabby was a part of that. And tough game from him. But again, I still think he deserves a shot at that everyday shortstop spot. But man, there's a lot of people tweeting on Rays Twitter. You don't want to be batting 9th in the Rays order because you're going to come up in a huge spot, and they haven't delivered so far this year. But then I really want to shout out, and we're going to get the order of this in. We're going to cut Taj just to go on the flow of the game, how big the bullpen was. Garrett Cleavinger, I said it was in the Yankees game. He gave up a home run, but his stuff looked really good. And in this game, his stuff was really good again. And he just proceeded to just mow down everyone in the order. He just mowed everyone down, and he was massive. And I thought his pitching was one of the best moments of the game. And then Uceta, rocky a little bit, but made the big pitches when he had to. He dealt with the bases loaded, again, made the big pitches when he had to. And then Fairbanks was probably the best we've seen him so far this year. And then Orze, man, he got dealt a tough like that. Just a chopper to Walls. They gave Walls an error. I don't hate him trying to make that play. You're an athlete there trying to make a play. And he was able to get out of it. And my heart was bumping, man. Like, the Rays needed this game. And it was just so massive that they were able to get it. And we're going to talk about Taj Bradley, and we'll talk about how this was the most Rays win ever after this ad break. This episode is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering HVAC and electrical supplies, including plumbing, with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your order. That's supplyhouse.com. This episode is also brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the high-protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better-for-you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling full longer. Personally, I love the no shells variety. There's actually one time my dad had to get some dental work done because of the shells. And the no shells variety, it was nothing on the shells. He just liked to put them all in the mouth at once. But the no shell variety is such a perfect grab and go snack for busy days. Whether I'm snacking on my desk or they're really good on road trips or just quick protein for guys like me that like to go to the gym, they're always my go-to. And I love cracking open every shell for a satisfying crunch. That in-shell options are always a classic favorite as well. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch and that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.org. So let's talk about Taj Bradley real quick, because I really thought that he battled in this game. He was really, really, really good. And like I said, he had some moments, right? That first Carroll, he pitched the plate, but his 3-run 6 hits looked so much different than Zach Littell's 3-run 6 hits, if that makes sense. If I'm the only one feeling like that, let me know in the comments. But I just had so much more confidence in Taj. And I thought him going out for the 6th inning was huge. How often have we seen Kevin Cash leave his guy out there? I think he was at like 93 pitches going to the 6th. And Taj Bradley rewarded him. And that was absolutely massive for not only Taj Bradley, but to show the confidence that Kevin Cash had in his young pitcher. And Taj Bradley has ace-level stuff. So getting that out of him was just huge, right? And, let's go to the 11th inning, the inning that, of course, got the Rays the win. And Meisner, man, just absolutely massive. He has the double, should have been triple, scoring Simpson, and then all of a sudden he's out, right? And I'm going to get to that. Of course, just the most Rays thing ever. He gets a triple. The Rays with, well, you never know with the Rays, but when they get to someone on third with less than no outs, there wasn't even one out, you're most 8 times out of 10 going to get that run in. And of course, he briefly pops up the brag. And I'm like, oh my goodness, the most Rays thing. This is why they're not going to win the game. But Yandy Diaz. And this is where we're going to get to our player of the game when we talk about Yandy.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yandy Diaz is the player of the game. 3 for 6, 3 RBIs, and I put it on a tweet on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's right here on the screen, at Johnny10Shields. I'm going to be a lot more active over there. He is the heartbeat of this team. The way Yandy goes, a lot of the times how the Rays go. And he dragged them to a win here. And I need to emphasize that. He dragged them to a win. When nothing was going right in that 11th inning, we were like, man, like, BA the broadcast. You want to get to if you're on the road. And Yandy just keeps his hands in, gets the barrel to it, and just shoots up the right side for a double. Just massive for that Yandy did that. And then what did the Rays do? They just kept doing what they did. Junior, that he legged out an infield single, and they got that next run that eventually put the game away. So I thought, and again, now let's get to why this was the most Rays type of game ever. How many times in this game, please let me know in the comments, how many times in this game did you guys think, oh, the Rays have this game won? I'll give you a second to think. And then how many times do you guys go, oh my goodness, the Rays are going to lose? That's the Rays type of game. That's how they play. And it's going to put me in cardiac arrest by the time this season's over, because there was at least 6 times where I started to type out my description for this episode and how the Rays were going to win. And then I started to type out the description on how the Rays were going to lose. And if that's not the most Rays thing ever, then I don't know what is. But man, what a big time win. There's no such thing as must wins in April, but this game was about as close to a must win as it got, because I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the AL East. Almost every team that played today lost. Baltimore lost to Washington. Boston lost. Blue Jays lost, right? You can't win a division before Memorial Day, but you sure can lose it. So the Rays keeping pace right now. They're going through, right? They just got to tread water through the schedule that we talked about yesterday. If they keep treading water, they're going to heat up. And the lineup depth showed again for the Rays. They don't beat you 1 through 9. They beat you with their 40-man roster. And they beat Arizona with their 40-man roster today. So let's get to some comments. I really appreciate everyone being in here and leaving comments. As I'm sure you guys could see in the ad read, I'm also a little bit tired. I woke up at about 5 a.m. this morning to travel. So I appreciate that you guys getting in here. And this is a crucial one. I want to go to Alexander here first. How many more outfielders can this team lose? And I wrote this down because I thought it ended up being good news for Magnum. It was groin tightness. So when I think groin tightness, I think of more good news, right? Just maybe a day-to-day thing. So I hope that he's okay, and I hope that he can come back. But I mean, of course, how he heard it, busting it down, but busting it down the line. And that's just who he is, right? That's the hard worker that he is. And to see him go out, I just hope he's okay. And Alexander puts up a good point, man. I mean, if he were to go on the IL, that would be DeLuca, that would be Josh Lowe, that would be Pistachios, and that would now be Magnemon. And I don't really know who they would bring up at that point. I got to dust up on the farm system a little bit. I like you guys talking about the Pistachios a little bit. Shout out again to the sponsors of the show. And Carter actually gives a really good question. What do you think of Kevin Cash's bullpen management this season? Today, I thought it was really good. We talked about it yesterday when it was not good. When he left, when he left in the pitcher too long, and I said it at the time. He punted on the game. He left Englert in there for too long. And when it was 3-1, and all of a sudden it's 6-1 or 5-1 or whatever it was, and he punted on the game. And I was really disappointed in that. And now he did, I thought he worked the bullpen beautifully. And you guys were here in the second episode when we talked about, I think Orze deserves a higher leverage spot because I thought his stuff was really good. And they gave him a higher leverage spot, and he delivered. So now let's go back to Alexander, let Eloy play in the outfield. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Eloy's on the 40-man because that was one of the issues. And correct me if I'm wrong because I could very well be wrong. But I thought I saw that on Twitter that Eloy wasn't on the 40-man. So that's why it was harder to bring him up. Again, I could be completely wrong. He could be on the 40-man. If he is, he would be the one up. Let's get to a few more here before I get out of here. I want to just quickly show this one up because how does anyone sleep after that? I'm not going to go to sleep for a little bit. My heart's pumping after that. Just what a win, right? Especially as Tampa Bay fans. The Lightning got stomped yesterday. The Rays lost just kind of a disgusting game yesterday. And it was a much-needed win for Rays fans for this game. So we'll get to a few more. And this is, shout out to Carter again, this is another fun question. Rays Mount Rushmore. I'm not going to get into this now because this was such a big win for the Rays. But in future, if you guys have questions like that, if we have a little bit more time, then we can also get to those. But yeah, Alexander confirms Eloy not on the 40-man. That's why it could be a little bit trickier for him to come up and stuff. So I'll be really interested if Magnum does go in the IL, and I really hope he does not, that it is nothing serious and that, it's just a day-to-day thing. Maybe rest him tomorrow. The Rays can play, the same outfield they had today and go Meisner, Simpson, and Morale tomorrow against Burns. And let's look ahead to tomorrow before we get out of here. It will be a heck of a pitching duel tomorrow as we got Drew Rasmussen versus Corbin Burns. As you guys well know, Corbin Burns killed the Rays last year with the Baltimore, as the Rays have not hit good pitching this year. They got killed by Fight yesterday. They got killed by Max Fried a few days ago. They've not hit elite pitchers this year. Hopefully, I remember Corbin Burns because he gave up a home run to Alex Jackson. So I immediately said that any guy that gives up a home run to Alex Jackson should be DFA'd. But Alexander goes, I think Corbin has struggled a little bit. So that just means it's only a matter of time he's going to find his groove and go 8 strong against the Rays tomorrow, right? That just feels like that's what it is. But I think that the Rays have seen him enough. I think they have an advantage. And I don't know if there's a more underrated pitcher in baseball right now than Drew Rasmussen. That's how good that he's been. So look forward to that one tomorrow. Again, I will be with you here tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed, a little bit earlier. But regardless, if you guys are watching live again, leave a like. You guys watching the replay, leave a like, subscribe, comment. I love all the support. I love all the comments in here. Again, I'm going to be here after every game for the rest of the season. And the best part about baseball, win or lose, there's a game tomorrow. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.